amazing match between Team Sauce and Tilted since Season 3. Team Sauce, of course, captained by Boblini. And Tilted since Season 3, of course, captained by Abarn. I am AIBox, and I'm joined today by BludBathnBeyond himself. Blood, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
Fantastic. Yeah, really excited. I think this is another really interesting matchup. Boblini and Abarn obviously going really far back. Another going to be really fun game.
I think it'll be exciting to see going into week 2. We're going to start to see a little bit of discrepancy in the teams in terms of there'll be some 0-2 teams and there'll be some 2-0 teams. We'll start to see how the rankings are going to figure out.
Absolutely, yeah. The rankings themselves and kind of the evolving metagame within everything. How once people get a feel for how the other teams tend to play, how they tend to pick, and the type of styles and compositions that are going to be constantly evolving over the course of this league. I would say as a whole, these two teams really interesting. Some very clear pick ban priorities. Some very clear bans that are typically targeted at a couple of people. And maybe these guys have been practicing something in the background, trying to bust out something new, trying to figure out what really works within their team comp. And now that they have had a couple more weeks of practice in.
Apparently there's a delay on your between your audio and your camera, so let me try and figure that out real quick.
That's a bummer. That's okay though.
Yeah, you guys are just gonna have to.
I think going into pick ban.
With it for a second.
I think going into pick ban, we're really kind of looking for some really carry priority. I imagine out of Team Sauce, we're probably going to be expecting some sort of solid second or two. Sorry about the technical issues, guys. Anyways, from Team Sauce, we're probably going to be expecting more bans directed at Abarn, more mid lane bans. But Tilted since Season 3 in the previous series, we're really not worried about that. They still kind of late pick their mid lane every single time, every single game out of a 3-game series. So clearly comfortable with having a lot of targeted bans toward their mid laner. Team Sauce, on the other hand, have like some very clear strength in the solo lane between AIostInTheSauce, Bobby, and Sandy Snake. Both popped off quite a bit in the previous games. And Devious and Lemonilla are extremely solid, extremely safe bottom lane, and it'll be tough to target ban them out as well. So we'll see what if Tilted in Season 3, have anything lined up for this. Hopefully the technical issues are starting to look a little bit better, but 200 years, we're already getting flamed for our production. That's okay. How are we looking? Okay, so might just be some sort of problem with my audio kind of coming through with the actual window capture.
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully it kind of goes down a little bit. I know it's really annoying, but you're only going to see my dumb face during these intermissions and stuff like that. So,
is his audio off from mine? I'm not really sure what I would change, unfortunately.
How about we roll with it? We can figure it out kind of after the first game. You know, we'll do some troubleshooting and stuff. But for now, we can. I think both our teams are ready and don't want to hold them up any longer.
Yeah, we'll just have to get into this, guys. Sorry about that.
All right, and we're going to champ select now. Team Sauce playing blue side versus TSS3 playing red side. So Team Sauce with first ban. What do you think is going to come out here?
I think they're definitely Ezreal is a good ban because Elusive definitely favored Ezreal in week 1 as one of the strongest champs, and I think they're going to have to put a ban onto Abarn's Aurelia possibly.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, Elusive playing that Ezreal all 3 games of the first series looked really good on it too. And of course, the TSS3 ban on Urgot coming out. Team Sauce deciding to go with the Jarvan ban. Risked out, obviously, really a proficient Jarvan player, known for his Jarvan. Can definitely make a lot of early things happen, and does tend to have really good kill participation over the course of the game. So maybe targeting that jungler a little bit early to get him aloft with some comfort. TSS3, 5 seconds left. Maybe, oh, there's the Caitlyn. Yeah, as we talked about last week, Caitlyn's still a really strong power pick. between both of these teams. A lot of A carries really, so it's some good experience on Caitlyn. And here, I wouldn't be surprised if we were going to see that Aurelia ban coming out, like Blud was talking about. Aurelia, one of Abarn's most played mid laners. Mid laners, top laners, honestly. Oh, the Shen ban, actually. Yeah, Hippogriff doing a lot of work on Shen in the last 2 games, I believe, of their previous series versus Blood's team. Shen offering a lot of global presence, offering a lot of ability to be at team fights, be at objectives, and really transition the strength of his other carries, things like a hard carry like a Kai'Sa or a Kog'Maw or something like that in the bot lane, or like an Azir or a Ryze that Abarn also played last week. Shen really giving you a lot of power in that respect.
Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised by the Shen ban here. Hippogriff, again, he favored that one as well in their week 1. So, and I'd have to agree that they're really not afraid of Abarn here. Sandy Snake can definitely handle Abarn's picks.
Yeah, both very strong mid laners. Sandy Snake looking really, really strong in his week 1 games, especially on Ziggs. Ziggs and just showing a lot of champion pool diversity as a whole. Initially, Team Sauce picking up that Morgana, one of Lemon's most played champions, is going to be really, really comfortable in the bot lane with that Morgana, placing black shields, allowing initiations to happen, protecting his carry, and also letting a Dark Bind here and there to really enable his team to get these picks.
Yeah, and it's already going to be
TSS3.
It's already going to be a valuable pick with the amount of CC coming out from TSS3 here. We see.
Yeah, without a doubt,
we see Zach pick coming out from Team Sauce here. It's a solid counter to the, I shouldn't say counter, I should say response to the Sejuani in terms of another CC tank frontline.
Yeah, CC tank frontline, good initiation, can really be the one to go in and let his team follow up on what he's doing. Followed by the Senna. Devious picking the Senna 80 carry.
Definitely.
What do you think about that?
Senna ADC has been practicing that. I don't know totally what to think of it. I mean, we didn't really see that out of them last week. I know they've been practicing it. I think could be good. They're just going to need to have some more consistent damage coming from their mid lane, which I don't think will be a problem.
For sure. Yeah, Sandy Snake having that kind of champion pool to sustain a lot of these types of team comps. Lucian coming out for Elusive. I would assume that might be Lucian mid lane, but Elusive definitely cut his teeth on Lucian. Could be the player that plays that for sure.
I think that's gonna be a Lucian from Elusive, and that's also gonna be a Lucian to take away from the potential Lucian mid lane coming from Team Sauce.
For sure. Yeah, that would have been fun to see. You know, the Lucian and the Sen on the same team in the same game, but not to be. But the Corki band coming out, that's gonna be a Sandy Snake, right? Definitely one of his best characters.
And they're trying to get rid of some of that more consistent damage, but I don't think they're going to be able to ban him out here. I wonder if they possibly just put another ban onto Bovi.
Yeah, I could definitely see that working out. Bovi also playing that Ornn, that Set, quite good on all of those. I believe in the previous series also played Mordekaiser. Maybe not this game, but another thing to be aware of that he does play.
To Bovi there, and we'll probably see another ban onto Abarn as well.
Abarn. I could see that for sure. That Aurelia ban now coming out in the second phase, knowing that they're kind of okay to early pick their champs and they can pick out laners later. Yep, there's the Orianna. A lot of teams just really scared of this Abarn Orianna. I believe that's 4 bans out of his Orianna in 4 games.
It is definitely something that he has put a lot of time onto. I don't know that he's been practicing a whole lot specifically for these games, but it is one of his most played champions, and that'll definitely be There's
the Ryze though. Speaking of one of his more most played champions,
that'll be Abarn Ryze.
Yeah, there's the Ryze.
I wonder if he's being a little disrespectful of Sandy Snake here, just because Ryze is Ryze is a champion you can be very aggressive on early. So I'm curious to see what Sandy Snake brings out.
Well, especially considering that's a blind pick. They have their red side. They have a true last pick. They could have saved their mid lane pick until last and picked their top lane there. But I guess they want to get Hippogriff onto something in a matchup that he's
I'm a little surprised by that as well, just because between the Urgot and the Ornn bans, you have to know Bovi's going to go on to Set next.
On to Set, for sure. That's definitely out there in a sense that one of his most comfortable champions, one of his most played ranked champions from this league, from this season, excuse me. Yep. And the Ziggs, Sandy Snake.
That's not surprising. We saw the Ziggs last week. He did an insane amount of damage.
No. Yeah, I think it really rounds out their team composition really well as well.
And that's a Fiora from Hippogriff. Now, Fiora's set is
Wow.
a skill matchup, although in my experience, I have found that playing the set has been pretty comfortable into the Fiora, especially if you go for that
Sure.
Bramble Vest Ninja Tabi Rush. You can definitely prevent her early harass.
Yeah, for sure. We also saw him actually play that in this particular matchup against you in week 1.
Yes, that's correct. And
that was
I
really
believe that was
matchup,
the first game that we actually. Yeah,
that was game 1. Yeah,
like I said, in my experience, it went pretty well for me. So.
Yeah, that can be tough. I feel like it's very dependent on whether you're able to get around and actually proc those vitals, and what you parry. Obviously, in any sort of Fiora matchup is going to be crucial.
So we'll just have to see how Bovie plays it out here.
For sure. As a whole, now that I'm kind of seeing the team, I really like the Senna pick. Sometimes it can be really dangerous to kind of pick Senna into a lot of team comps, especially type of team fight, front to back, initiation heavy team comps that TSS3 tends to like to play. But with the safety of the Ziggs, having the set and the Zac in front of him with the Morgana, I actually think this Senna will be really, really interesting to see how it pans out.
And I think from TSS3 here, really Sauce's game plan here, they need to be able to deal with the Soraka, because in our game our games, I should say, against them, when they were picking the Soraka, we just had a little bit of trouble getting onto it. We weren't able to kill it. It sustained through the fights, and we just had difficulty getting ahead in those games. So they're definitely going to have to be finding those picks with the Morgana, with the Zac, onto the Soraka.
Yeah, absolutely. Some big initiations onto the carries that really matter on TSS3. It can be really tough because they do tend to play this type of frontline initiation. They kind of go in first, and then everyone is following up on what they're doing behind them. So things like, what we saw in game 1 of the previous week was TSS3 would place the Black Shield on Jarvan and tell him to go in, or the Zac would be initiating from across the screen into the base, and then the rest of the team would follow up on that. So in that situation, the team fights can get really hectic, and it can be tough to get onto the backline, onto the Sorakas, onto the Morganas, onto these types of really squishy supports that you have to get onto in order to fight.
I think they do have a good follow for this, though, because Zac has such a high range engage. However, they also have very high range follow up between Senna and Ziggs, that if they do find that pick with the Zacs, they should be able to blow her up.
I think that's really promising for sure. What about this mid lane matchup? I think this will be really exciting.
Yeah, it will be interesting because both of these champions are very good at shoving each other in. It's going to be a matter of who shoves in first and what they do with it, because Abarn is someone that loves to roam, whereas Sandy Snake depends on whether he's going to roam or not. I mean, he may just want to play safe and farm up. We did see a little bit of roaming from him last week when he was actually checking out some of the enemy's jungle, trying to get some kills for himself there. It just depends a little bit on how confident he's feeling in this matchup.
Yeah, I think this game 1 will be really, really telling to see how the mid laners kind of size each other up, how the flow of mid lane and jungle in particular is going to go over the course of the series. This game 1 is definitely going to be very interesting. I also think that one thing that we like you mentioned with Abarn liking to roam is we saw Abarn with global pressure with the Rise last week in match 3, I believe, was able to take kind of a CS lead, an advantage that can't spawn from his jungle being there and just generally being up in CS, and was able to transition that top lane, was able to transition that into dive spot lane with the Rise teleport, with his ult. So if he's able to get those plays off, I think TSS3 can make a lot of mid-game moves to be able to secure an advantage against the Ziggs that sometimes maybe needs a little bit of time to be able to ramp up, to be able to set up and get his damage down. All right, looking like we're about ready to get into the game.
In here. What do you think how do you think the bot lane matchup is going to go between Senna Morgana versus Lucian Soraka?
Yeah, I think this might be a tough matchup for Devious and Lavanilla. Soraka Lucian providing a lot of ability to stay in the lane, Soraka providing some poke, Lucian providing that ever-present danger of being all-in, versus the Senna Morgana, which does have quite good trading power between the Senna healing and the poke and the Morgana bindings. They can really chain CC really effectively, and if they land a good binding, that could be it for whoever they land on, in particular Soraka.
Looks like we're just going to see a standard 5-point here. It's been what we've been seeing just about. I don't believe there's been any invades in our in our
Yeah,
league
I
as a
think
whole.
TSS3 game 1 tried one on actually you guys. They tried to invade, but I think Spirit of Fate actually sniffed that one
Gotcha.
out and ended up not amounting to anything. However, we're still getting some team
Yeah,
vision
we're
on this
actually
blue
going to see
buff.
a ward come down here. And a little poke coming out from Sandy, but
Yes.
not really much that's going to matter.
Sure, they're just going to reset. They're just happy to get that vision on. We also saw Rickstout in game 1 of the previous series get an early 3 buff on the enemy jungler. So that deep vision kind of might be looming on them, hoping that they don't get invaded with on the Zac yet again.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Sedge is not necessarily the most aggressive invading champion, so I believe he was on Jarvan when he did the 3 buff. So
he did, yeah. He 3 buff Sedge.
I think they may just want to see where he's starting out. Yeah.
Yep. So far, yeah.
We've got a cleanse on the Ziggs as well, which, I mean, honestly, that's really only going to be for...
That's great.
It's going to be solid for the Sedge ult, but that's really the only thing it's going to be coming down onto. I mean, he could...
Yeah, I think he's also worried about Abarn walking up and Wing him as well.
He could cleanse the Fiora ult as well, I believe.
Potentially. I'm not entirely sure how the interaction works on that one, but definitely still going to be useful for, I mean, a lot of what Rickstout's putting out. Oh, literally trade. Hippogriff going in on the Jarvan. Queuing in. Jarvan taking pretty decent damage, but in addition, some good stuff out with his passive.
Yeah, we're also going to see a... I don't know if he's going to attempt the full clear, but Deerbrain here is already taking his Krugs, which is going to put him well behind Rook. Rook is already on his red buff here.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like he went blue wolves onto red buff, and looks like Deerbrain's just going to be full clearing his bot side. Interesting. Looks like Hippogriff got a nice parry down on the Lost in the Sauce. Lost in the Sauce now taking a stun and a lot of damage. Not quite able to trade anything back. He's going to have to play a little bit safer now. Maybe heal up a little bit with that Doran's shield. But Fjorus with that Doran's Blade start, dealing quite a bit of damage right now. Zac looking for something here. Going on Abarn. He lands a Q. Not able to get anything with that EW down on
He gets a good chunk though.
Abarn's just going to be able to walk out
with his phase rush. But
takes a very good chunk.
That's the kind of plays they need to look for already onto that mid lane. This game is definitely going to be favored in the mid lane. Although Hippogriff is already showing that he wants to prove himself in this matchup.
He likes this matchup. Yeah, Lost in the Sauce forced to go for that Haymaker with his grit, but doesn't get much damage down to Hippogriff. Hippogriff is still very healthy. Lost in the Sauce now popping his pot as well. Like you're saying, that mid lane though, got to go for plays on the early Rise. Rise, if you're able to force him to health, and Rickstout takes some damage from the Ziggs. The satchel charge, Rickstout just queues over the wall. Ziggs and Deerbrain now securing this top scuttle. That's a great start for the mid lane jungle combo of Team Sauce.
We already have a early base from Abarn in response to that initial poke. He's actually going to go ahead and use his TP to get back to lane.
Right. Takes a lot of poke. Has forced to use a lot of his mana to clear the wave, and just goes back and grabs that tier and TP's back into the wave. Sandy Snake without that teleport is just forced to just walk. However, now gank topside on Hippogriff. Hippogriff just queues out and it's just totally fine. Deerbrain showing top, but placing good pressure.
Deerbrain's actually going to look to go again. He's not going to get anything though.
Yeah, he sees him. No. I think at worst he just parries the initial CC and is able to just walk out after that. Decent little way of building it for Sandy Snake. However, bot lane, we're seeing a little bit of a CS differential actually in favor of Devious. Luciv taking some damage on this Lucian. Does have Biscuits and the Doran's shield to actually heal up with. I think that's an interesting decision.
Even bigger than bot lane is the top lane CS difference.
Oh, absolutely. Hippogriff, yeah. Really making kind of a statement in this top lane matchup. You said it was a skill match, but Hippogriff is so far showing that he's making it work really well in his favor. I think there's definitely something to be said about this Deerbrain moving around, making some ganks happen in the mid lane and the top lane. The top lane one obviously not panning out. Mid lane, forcing that health trade, plus the mana out of the Rise. Doesn't force a flash, but he does eventually force him back after about 2 waves, and then forces the TP out. So Rise now in lane, kind of stuck in lane for a second. Sandy Snake just getting a little bit of vision down for his jungler. Kind of checking the status of the scuttles. I believe, yep, the bottom scuttle's up after the mid jungle of Team Sauce were able to secure the top one. Rickstout's going to go ahead and take that one. He does have priority in the bottom lane. The Senna Morgana not able to help on this. The Ziggs walking down, they see that Yep, they place a pink. They're going to have a little bit of river control, but they're also going to see that the bot skill is already down, so not going to be able to pressure that at all.
Now,
nice trade. Nice trade must have happened up here.
Yeah, Bovi's trade.
Oh, nice parry coming out of Hippogriff on the AIostInTheSauce E. He's proccing Vitals now, however, he's just going to walk out. Took a lot of damage there. He's forced to just
Bovi's
Q
gonna
away.
have to be careful here. Fiora has just hit 6, and he's missing his W, but she's not going to look for the engage. We actually have gank here.
Yeah, so that was oh, a gank here over on Lemonilla, and Lemonilla forces his splash out of works out. Looked like he walked through the lane and was just able to lane gank Lemonilla. The Black Shield also forced out. Fiora's saying that Ziggs cleansed. I'm not sure what happened in the mid lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I don't know why Hippogriff is saying that. Ziggs clearly still having his cleanse. Maybe just mispinging a little bit. Getting a little bit of poke on Abarn with that satchel. Good usage of his mana and abilities to really force Abarn to be just uncomfortable. Like, anytime he's walking into the side lanes, he's under threat of the Ziggs also rotating in that direction. Now a side gank coming out with Rooked Out. Black Shield forced onto Devious. However, Lemonilla is taking so much damage. That's first blood on Luciv. Flashing in EQ with his Lightslinger passive. However, TP coming in from AIostInTheSauce. Ult onto the Soraka. Soraka flashes out. Nice E onto both the Fiora and the Soraka. However, Hippogriff is just in. He flashes out of the Haymaker damage. Ziggs ult coming down now. Another TP coming out of Rise. Nothing happening here though. Doombendigo walks out with full, just fully okay. And however, he's super low. D-Brand is super low. I can't believe we didn't see any kills there outside of the initial kill onto Lemonilla.
That was good from Rook there, though, to follow up on his previous gank, knowing that Lemon does not have his flash. And on top of that, Lemon...
Yeah, it looks like
they're going to get a free dragon here, unless Sandy Snake has something to say about it. He doesn't have his ult, though. No, that's a good snipe.
Right. Yeah. Nice job clearing the ward. I'm sorry, what were you saying about Lemonilla?
It was a good follow-up gank, and Lemonilla had already put his Black Shield down onto Dev at that point, so it was pretty free for Rook to just walk up and Q him, and he just goes down for the first blood.
For sure. A nice play, a nice heads-up play, kind of walking around through Try behind where there was a vision, and just kind of catches Devious and Lemonilla off guard. AIostInTheSauce and Hippogriff, of course, both TPing down there. This huge wave pivot down here.
We saw Abarn roam down as well with his ulti. They actually had the 5-man bot lane.
Oh, yep. For sure. The full 5-man with this ult. He's still a huge CS lead up here.
Yeah, there's a big CS lead for Hippogriff, and in the bot lane, that CS lead is starting to grow a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think that poke from the Senna coming out. However, nice E on the Fiora. AIostInTheSauce still taking the trade. Fiora just proccing his Qs. AIostInTheSauce just haymakers backwards. Doesn't quite get anything out of that. Nice trade out of Hippogriff once again.
Be looking for a gank here, and there's actually not a word this time, so we'll see if he can get anything. It looks like Rookstout is not really in a position to respond to this gank.
Not quite, yeah. That's an oh.
I believe.
Looks like he went over the wall with the blast cone, and it just goes in. Hippogriff sees him now. Now he pops his ult on the Pope. Now he's just dead with the ult from Set.
That is...
Wow. Hippogriff maybe moving to ward there. D-Brand sees the opportunity and blast comes over the wall instead of charging up his last slingshot. That was kind of an interesting mechanical decision. Hippogriff probably sensing that something was going on, was going to place a ward, however, just gets
that was good good gank from D-Brand there, knowing that Hippogriff's flash is down, knowing that he can come in there, and that Hippogriff is going to be pushing aggressively with that Tiamat.
Yeah, nice job. Kind of helping stabilize his top lane a little. Being that far down his TS now, able to push back. Rook's out, not in position to help. However, D-Brand going in now just lands some damage on Abarn. Sandy Snake basically doing most of the legwork himself. However, D-Brand just walks in and just takes it. Just absolutely snipes the kill. Nice gank again. I'm not sure what happened to Abarn there. Did not have a splash up, and wasn't able to proc phase rush before he died.
Yeah, it appears that there had already been a trade going on, and despite D-Brand walking over the ward and he was seen out, he was still able to just charge up the slingshot far enough to be able to jump straight onto Abarn. For sure. Abarn sitting at a little bit lower health, and that damage plus landing, I think the initial part of his Q was enough. Rick's out looking for something, maybe a scuttle. Yeah, looks like he's looking for the skull. Feels confident. Sees that the Zac had already gone in. However, now he's switching his
eyes toward bot lane. That buff transfer happening in blue. Nothing come of it. They see him on the pink ward. Dude Mendigo and the Rexana not clearing it out.
Actually looks like,
but they do have bot lane priority.
Repeat up here, but he's going to be seen on the ward.
So he does it. Gets seen on the ward. Hippogriff just Qs out.
They're still going.
Parries the Q. I'm not sure that's what he wanted. Now he doesn't have it for the E. AIostInTheSauce E's him into him. Hippogriff's taking a lot of damage, but he's just gonna be able to walk away.
Abarn comes in with the ulti.
Looks like there's a poor bot lane out of Rise. Yeah. Drops his full combo on Lemonilla. Lemonilla gets just that black shield bursted through, and still the CC comes through. Nice play by Abarn, holding his CC until they burst that black shield, and he's able to just CC him immediately with the Soraka.
Yeah, it appears that Lemonilla's flash was even possibly still up too. He may have just been holding on to that too long.
That's... Oops. Yeah, maybe held on to it. Maybe a mechanical mistake there in the bot lane. Looks like something happening. Works that run for the Sejuani ult. Does quick hash Devious with it. I'm not sure what they would have done even if he had caught it. Nobody else was going to be able to follow up with that, but nonetheless goes for it, asserts his dominance, and they're able to get some plates here in the bot lane. Sandy Snake meanwhile pushing mid though. This is definitely going to be a play for him in the mid, so they're just trading even plates.
Yeah, and that's a lot of solo gold going on to Sandy Snake. Well, that is a good play to get Lemonilla there and get themselves some plates. I don't know that they want Sandy Snake to be able to get this much free time in the mid lane. I mean, he's gotten 3 plates at this point.
For sure, yeah. This is kind of what we're talking about, though. Abarn definitely enjoying that kind of very roam-heavy style with the Rise. Wants to make use of his ult when it's up. Wants to help out his side lanes and make a difference where he can. Rexana coming back into the mid lane. Q Sandy Snake is dealing some pretty decent damage to him. However, Sandy Snake just W's away. That social charge really giving a lot of conditional escapability. Meanwhile, Team Sauce taking the Rift Herald in the with the top lane and the jungle. Dbrand just walking up and seeing that pressure bot lane and just saying like, let's go for the Rift. This is what you're trading.
A very good response from them to take the Rift after that bot lane gank. And honestly, between the 2 plates versus the 3 plates and Rift for a kill, I think Team Sauce actually wins that trade overall.
I agree. Yeah, a lot of solo gold on the Ziggs, plus the Rift Herald that is just going to take this tower down as well. I think for the format was a really good team play, but they traded a lot for that. Rookstout coming back in. Sandy Snake forced the flash. Nice repeat gank by Rookstout. That is the first turret though. A big trade in the top lane. He's able to E the set E, however, is able to just keep practicing ult now. Says force the flash out. Getting super low, and Hippogriff with the solo kill. Nice job by Hippogriff. Flashes out of the pull, parries a lot of damage, and gets in proxies vitals. That's the volatility.
That's a little bit of a misplay there from AIostInTheSauce, not being able to get his W damage after it's fully procced onto Fiora there. He kind of let her just Q around it and proc her ulti.
Absolutely, that can be really really tough. Like one is like positioning so huge in that matchup, right? Like one button press in a different direction can really change the whole scenario of the trade. AIostInTheSauce now home guard TPing back in, going straight back onto Hippo. Ease him in, is dealing some pretty decent damage. Now has the Bramble plus the Vamp Scepter plus the Ninja Tabby, so he's actually pretty beefy.
Looks like we're gonna see
Abarn going in with the boss mode here. catches the Zac, yeah, but it's the 4-man. They're not ready for Rookstout coming in with the Sejuani. He ults in. Devious is getting super low, but he lives. He's gonna be able to get this ult. No, he doesn't. He just dies. Rookstout now in range for the Ziggs ult. Ziggs ult coming down, doing no damage to anyone. However, Devious, I don't know if channeling his ult there was the right call, but is so close. It's tough to flame him for that one. The bot lane rotating up, not expecting to find the Sejuani in the tri-bush. Now Rookstout taking a binding on the way out. Now with the Ziggs here, it's going to be tough to take this tower. After they were able to rotate the Dragon Pressure down bottom lane with the Rise, he went over to the last cone. Was surprised to find the Zac actually doing his Krugs. It was forced to flash back over the wall. But the bot lane and Sejuani coming to support, and they were able to turn into a kill on the AD carry.
Right, it's a good response there from Sandy Snake after he's already taken his tower to be able to come down and help them defend that turret.
For sure, stopping the tower take. Zac now going in from his Raptor camp, dealing a lot of CC. Rise not able to proc his phase rush yet. He's just trying to walk away as best he can. He doesn't have flash available to him since he flashed earlier.
They did actually go ahead and use the Soraka ult during that as well.
Oh, that's big. Yeah, Soraka ult not available for whatever the next team fight or objective is going to be. Most likely. AIostInTheSauce and Hippogriff once again trading. This has just absolutely been such a brawly top lane. Dbrand looking for something back up here. However, he spotted again on that ward. Hippogriff, pretty good ward coverage. So the one time he didn't have it, and the one time he was moving to ward, got caught by that Zac gank and died. However, generally pretty good awareness up here. Sandy Snake seeing this red buff is moving toward it. Drops kind of his full combo. Zach also coming in.
I don't believe there was a.
I
believe there was a word there. I think that was just another random guess from Sandy Snake there. We saw that from last week.
Yeah, great game sense. Abarn missing the last Q, kind of now taking a not favorable trade. The board coming out of elusive, he's going in on Ziggs. Ziggs taking so much damage, he's just dead. I believe that's huge damage out of the Lucian. Now Rook going in onto the Zac. Zac is under tower, but he might just be Bloblet and dead. Yeah, big plays by the bot lane of TSS3 going in, following up on the Abarn, just kind of takes a little bit of a trade. Lucifer just goes in, Blade of the Rune Kings onto the Ziggs, and the Ziggs is just dead after. That's a huge power spike. Now Rice TPing bottom lane, trying to save this bottom tower, but the mid tower is gone in favor. Nice job.
Actually, go ahead and
nice
respect the TP coming in from Abarn there, and just back off from that turret.
For sure. Yeah, with that row and the tier stacking up, he's going to be ramping up probably in the next like 3 or 4 minutes. It's going to be starting to be pretty strong, probably before the 20-minute mark. Elusive just kind of going in. He's like, I see the angle here. I have my Soraka with me. I know that Sejuani's calling in the comms that she's also going to follow up on this. I'm just going to go in. D-Brand coming in from the side, trying to help out his mid laner, but the Lucian with the last auto, taking care of that Ziggs.
Confident gameplay coming in from Elusive, and we saw that from him last week as well.
Oh, the ult! Nice ult on the Sandy Snake. The cleanse coming out. That's a nice job on him. Silence, however, he's just out. Soraka forces flashback over the wall with the Ziggs coming in. Lemonil flashes in. Ult! Big damage, but however, D-Brand's dead. Lemonil taking a lot of damage. The Rise now in. Rook's not taking so much damage from the Ziggs. The Ziggs is just free firing. Devious and the Ziggs, the triple kill.
That is a huge play.
Huge play
coming in from Team Sauce there. They used their AoE. They got the Zac knock up on multiple people. They got the Morgana ult on multiple people. It was a huge play from them.
Yeah. Nice job. Despite trading his life for it, Morgana going in and getting a huge ult. Now a big trade again in the top lane. Both ults used. Let's see if Hypocrite is able to keep sticking onto him. Has one more vital to procs it. And he's just dead. No, AIostInTheSauce pops the Haymaker. Is they able to follow up on the kill? And does with the final Q, the Soraka ult coming out. Crucially, like you mentioned earlier, the Soraka ult not up for that last fight.
For sure.
The Mountain Jank now spawning in 30 seconds. Hypocrite with the solo kill again on AIostInTheSauce. That's 2, I believe. A lot of pressure in this top lane with the split push. She's going to be a monster in the mid and late game with the split push if they don't start to contain her.
Bovellini just bit off a little more than he could chew there, going in up to that tower when he didn't have vision on the Fiora, and he was just able to come in behind him and slowly kill him off.
Yeah, without a doubt. Not to mention a 40 CS lead, or excuse me, a 50 CS lead on top of that.
Yeah, he's actually got a 300 gold shutdown on him as well. He's going to look very large in his team fights if he decides, or we're just going to smite this dragon. That's good.
Oh, nice fight on Rick Stout. Rick Stout's might have been very good in the previous series. I believe 3 steals over the course of the match. Now with 3 dragons on TSS3.
So that was against my team.
That's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. Nice trade. Kind of catching the corner of that Haymaker onto the Fiora. I kind of want to go back to that team fight in the blue side red buff jungle with that Ziggs the entire time. So he's just following up behind his Zac, and like you mentioned, Morgana going in, and all of this front line, and the entire time the Ziggs is just throwing bombs, throwing all of his abilities, just dropping everything, and comes out with a quadra kill.
Yeah, that's huge for them, putting those 4 kills onto Sandy Snake there. He's definitely going to be able to put some work in with that.
Yeah, he is huge. D-Brain coming up over the walls. The Stairs popped on the Rise, flashes out as well. Still gets caught by the binding, not able to trade anything back. I think he was respect flashing there for sure. Wasn't sure who else was behind it.
Absolutely.
Behind the Zac.
Good play from him to force the Abarn flash there. He was pushing up rather aggressively without
absolutely. Now the TP coming in. That is Hippogriff. Sandy Snake, however, coming in. Is he going to get it? No, the TP comes in. Hippogriff's still going for it though. Parries the Ziggs ult. Now gets set ulted. That's a lot going down on Hippogriff. He's hoping that the Soraka's just able to keep him up. Sandy Snake going in. He's just going to kill the Soraka off. Now the ult, this Vitals popped on this Ziggs. Ziggs dies. That's a huge shutdown on the Ziggs. Hippogriff taking so much damage, and AIostInTheSauce is just able to finish.
Yeah, that's a huge play from them. Sure, they get the kill back onto the Ziggs, but getting that 600 gold bounty onto the set is going to be massive to get him back into this game.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were talking about. The Fiora is going to try to take over the game, but if they are able to mitigate it with Sandy Snake coming up, forcing this tower take with the Ziggs W, Now Dbrand going in, goes in on the Lucian. He still has passive up. No, he doesn't. Lucian dealing a lot of damage. Works out frontlining for him. The Sunny W coming down, rooting everyone not enough to follow up on. That persistent damage and that burst. Now AIostInTheSauce coming in with that set forks the Sejuani, and is just forced to run away. The Rise and Lucian really scary right now. He can't quite go in by himself without the Ziggs. Now it's just the Scuttle.
We've actually got.
I think it's been a
next dragon is actually going to be Soul for TSS3 here, and it's coming up in about 2 minutes. If
for sure.
Team Sauce does not want to struggle through the rest of this game, they're gonna have to contest this dragon.
Absolutely. Maybe Soul not quite as good for TSS3 as it is for Sauce. Sauce having the set plus the Zac makes for a really good Mountain Soul team, but still, that's Sejuani gonna get really beefy, gonna get really
absolutely.
tanky.
And even just having the shield against the not only Ziggs pokes, but even potentially some Senna poke coming in is going to be very important for them.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Maybe give you a little bit more ability to set vision and objectives, kind of walk into areas that you're okay taking a little bit of chunk of your health to be able to set up the necessary wards, the necessary placement of your actual champions to get that big team fight.
We're actually seeing
Senna's still farming up.
A little bit of conversion on Baron here. It's about the time that both teams are going to start to be setting up on Vision, and it looks like they're doing so about the same time. Both of them might be caught out here. No, they're not going to go up top for him.
No, they're not going to quite go for it.
Going into Dbrand though.
They are, however, going on this Dbrand. Yeah, he's looking for the turn. Ziggs is behind him. However, Lucian's here as well, showing up. Srock taking a lot of damage. He's going to get ulted by the set and just dead. Works out taking quite a bit of damage. Gets bounce house around. Dbrand is still alive with a sliver of health. Has his passive. Lucian heals, doesn't save him. Loses both the Soraka and the Sejuani. Fiora not in town to support. Maybe a little bit of a deep invade without the Fiora on the side helping. This Abarn Rise though, just split pushing huge. Look at the CS on the Rise, just so much money.
Yeah, it's a little bit ambitious from TSS3 there to go in so deep without the support of one of their most fed champions on Rise. Although
yeah, this Rise
is actually able to hold the enemy bot lane 2v1, so if they are able to make plays like that again but done properly, they could really capitalize.
Yeah, Lemino going for that Zanya's first start. He's probably going to be looking for more of those big ults. Rise now deciding to ult somewhere. Looks like he just ulted back to his tower. Might be trying to reset with his TP. No, he's just going to safety. He saw that Sandy Snake was wrapping around the side. Sandy Snake on that Ziggs. If you let a Ziggs get in position beforehand, he's going to he's going to look at all of these individual chokes coming out of your jungle, coming out of the river, coming out of the lanes, and just being like absolutely feasting on them, just doing so much damage with his AoE.
Yeah,
and TS3 kind of feeling that now. So you see that he's already kind of zoning them. Lemonade around the side with the Zac, and that's a lot of threatening. Fiora might need to look for a flank here instead of being...
Team Sauce has actually very much gotten themselves where they need to be at this point. They've gotten the vision control in the river, and they're prepping for this dragon.
Yeah, they don't... Those two ping cords not covering the one ward. However, Team Sauce doesn't care. They're just going to start the dragon. Rixat going in with this rocket healing him up. This rocket is going to be huge in these types of poke wars. Going in, Rixat with the ult. Lucian around the side. His might be just maybe he'll kill Lemonade. Lemonade hasn't ulted yet. Yeah, he's forced Zanya's. Sauce goes in. He goes on to Abarn. Abarn takes a lot of damage, but he's just dead. Dbrand now going in on Lucian. Lucian flashing out. Looking for the outplay here. 1v3. Debbie is going in with Sandy Snake. Is he going to be able to do it? Lucian taking a lot of damage with just being outranged by the Ziggs and the... Oh, however, Rixat coming back in. Sandy Snake forced to pop cleanse. Hypocrite coming in the side. This is the flank that they might have needed. Kills out Sandy Snake. That's a lot of their persistent damage down. They might be able to turn on the dragon. No, they're just going to keep going for it. Debbie is going in. Getting all his Bridal's proc. Zac is taking a lot of damage. It's just ease over the wall. He's fine. However, Rixat falling over the wall. Overall, a favorable, oh, maybe not. Even 2-for-2 trade, but TSS3 does have control of the dragon. This is going to be sold. That's
actually huge. Actually 3-for-2 there. They did manage to kill Lemonilla at the beginning of that fight.
Yes, thank you, yeah.
But yeah, I think it looked good for Team Sauce at the beginning there, but then they kind of turned back around into an area, really the only area down here that they did not have vision in with this pink ward. They turned right back into... Oh, Zac actually goes in for the attempt at the steal, and he's going to die for it.
He goes for the wall, but gets boosted fast and he dies. Soul still going over
the Soul, and if they want to, they could turn this into a Baron, but it looks like they're just going to play it safe.
Yeah, they have a lot of consistent damage with this Rise. Their Baron is definitely still pretty scary. Blue team, perhaps, with this set plus his Ziggs, still quite scary. Senna, maybe not the scariest Baron taker. but still pretty good consistent damage from both teams.
Yeah, I don't think we can count Team Sauce just out though yet, because again, that looked like a decent fight until they turned back around and they put really Sandy Snake in a little bit of a dangerous position there that they're walking. He's walking right back face first into Sejuani and Fiora.
Yeah, them chasing that Lucian maybe a little too far. Elusive, I guess, buying some time, was really quite outranged by the Senna just autos plus the Zig Qs. Had a hard time fighting without all of his cooldowns up. Flashed out, but
yeah, and that's really, with the bot lane having pushed as much as they have, that's really the first time we've seen much usefulness out of Dev there, that he's actually able to outrange the Lucian in that team fight. Maybe he's done enough farming now at this point that he's gotten his Mirror Mana and he's gotten some souls built up to increase his auto attack range, that he'll be able to put some damage down in these fights.
Yeah, but Lucian with like basically over full item advantage on him.
Right.
That could be really scary, especially for the Ziggs. If Lucian is able to get onto the backline behind Zac, if Zac goes in and Lucian couldn't, like as we saw for the last fight, Lucian flanking, basically solo killing Lemonella, that can be really scary, especially with Elusive, who wants to make that aggressive go in. Brick's walking around the side, gets bound. Does he even break that soul shield though? That is a scary Sejuani. Hippogriff going once again in on Set. Set is forced to play to the room being away. Doesn't get really any of his abilities that matter onto Hippogriff. Hippogriff pretty tanky, actually. Triforce now working towards that Death Stance with the Ravenous Hydra. That's going to be a very scary Fiora, split pushing the side lane. However, Set has picked up a large number of kills. Abarn with that Banshees. He really does like that Banshee's Veil. Gives him a lot of safety to play up. Doesn't have side vision on the D-Brand though. He doesn't respect what's happening here. D-Brand walking around the side with the Zac. He's just going to go in on it. Misses his E.
Actually going to pick on Lemonella.
Isn't able to get anything. Rick's going in on Lemonella. Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. Looks like Rick's just went in with his ult. Lemon doesn't get the Black Shield up in time to just dash for it. Flash is away too. That's no flash on the Morgana. That's one more tool out of their pick arsenal outside of their team fight arsenal.
Go ahead and start the Baron here as well, based on that pick.
Sure. Devious also with his ult up that entire time didn't heal or shield the Morgana. Not quite sure what happened there. They're going to go straight for the Baron, as you mentioned. Dealing quite a lot of damage to it as well. It's just going to be gone. Rickstat's going to be able to secure the smite. Oh, nope. Rise with the final last hit. D-Brand looking up for something to follow up. Lost in the Sauce now here with the home guard TP in.
That's some damage.
Goes in with the ult.
That's so much damage!
That's huge damage! Then coming in and cleaning up! Abarn's going to have to do it all himself. But he's going to be able to. He's going to be CC, kills D-Brand. He's on his own. Hippogriff TP's in. Devious has found himself now and he's going to die. That's so much rise damage too. So much damage from the Ziggs. And as they disengage, ultimately a 3 for 3. That is such a scary Ziggs though. Layering all of his damage in on top of that Zac.
Yeah, that is
plus
some massive damage. Kind of the play they needed to make. They do get some trades and get some of those Barons off. However, Sandy Snake is stayed top lane and has not opted to defend this mid lane. It's possible that he doesn't feel that he can without his flash. They may just go ahead and dive him and they're just
right against Baron up minions. Yeah. That's tough. It looks so good for Team Sauce though. What do you think happened there? Was it just the Hippogriff TP plus the rise damage as a whole?
I think it was the fact that once they had put down all of that damage, that was basically all of it. Ziggs needed to wait a few seconds until he had another rotation of spells. Devious does not have consistent damage necessarily coming out from the Senna and those auto attacks, and there was a brief moment that while they did have a ton of burst in that initial fight, they didn't have the follow-up damage, and during that moment TSS3 was able to turn that back around with the Fiora damage and with the rise damage and even the Lucian damage.
Yeah,
that's going to
really
be
scary.
More consistent than the Ziggs in the Senna right now.
Right. I think Rise hit him with like maybe 2 Qs and a couple of Es on the Senna and just blew him up. Rise getting to this point in the game where he's starting to be really kind of start to scale.
Zac with the first item Thornmail, I don't know if he had the Negatron cloak at that point or not, but Abarn was just able to tear right through their front line on Zac.
Shredded him, yeah. Yeah, once he has that that gargoyles, he's going to be much tankier, but does kind of need to stack that up before he's able to. Not stack it up, but like get it up before he's able to be that hyper tank in the middle of the team fight, just disrupting the enemy carries.
Yeah, that could be what they need though, to buy enough time for the Ziggs. Bobby's actually taken half of his health just from one Abarn combo there.
Oh my god, the Rise. He's so strong.
I think if Zac...
D-Brand hovering a lot around the side though, looking for something.
If he goes for this, I don't think they kill him.
I'm not sure. He's so strong. AIostInTheSauce is so low. He's not going to be healing enough. Ryze has to just kill him here. However, Ryze is so low.
He kills him.
Forced to flash out. He gets the rebound and just Qs him and is dead. The Soraka ult coming out. He's not going to be able to kill him. Dbrand now gets Globlets, and he's just going to die. That might have been ill-advised. Hippogriff still split pushing in the side with the Lucian. Going to kill him. Sejuani, meanwhile, just in the mid lane pushing it in. Not Baroned up anymore. Ryze 1v2 in the top lane. That would might have been.
They go for this play on Ryze and put not only getting 1v2'd, even if they get that, they have given up 2 inhibs in order to get that kill potentially, and they didn't even get it. At this point, they're gonna lose. Yeah, totally they're gonna lose 3 inhibs here, and with Soul or Elder is already up. If they don't end here, they can just head straight to Elder and slowly close out.
That's just unbelievable. Works that ults the Sejuani, goes in now on Devious. Devious is now super in danger. No, he just turns around. Works out Satchel back in. Nice Satchel by Sandy Snake. Forces the Sejuani to flash back out. However, Dude just on the side, topping everyone with the Soraka. That's what you're mentioning at the beginning of the game. It's so tough to go in when they have this kind of beefy front line. Lucian now going on by the Dbrand, Zac, and they're just gonna walk out with the Megas. That is really scary.
Yeah, there doesn't really look like there's much Team Sauce can do here. They just do not have the consistent damage to not only get through the Sejuani and kill the priority targets.
That's going to be Elder.
They're just going to get this Elder unless we can see they are looking to contest this, and they have to. There's nothing else. If they lose this, they lose.
They absolutely have to. This is game, without a doubt. Losing all the souls plus these types of... Oh, yeah, it's just gone. Yeah, they just can't... The kind of consistent damage they're getting out of this Ryze, really dealing so much damage to this Elder, and it's just gone. This is definitely going to be an uphill battle. That included with an 11k gold deficit.
Yeah. Do you know the hotkey for team golds?
Oof.
I'll figure that one.
Let me look it up for you real quick.
I might figure that one out for next game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but as a whole, what we're looking at is, I think Dbrand might have spent too much time around that top lane with the Ryze, trying to make something happen and really forcing some of the plays and not able to find them. Meanwhile, Hippogriff is just bot lane, split pushing happily, and when he does disrupt the team fights, he's dealing so much damage.
Yeah, I think not only with that, but even the whole game, I think Dbrand has spent a little too much time top lane. I mean, Fiora is already a champion that is going to be difficult to gank with her parry. They had the initial gank on Abarn and got a kill, but there's not really much more that came to mid lane for Sandy Snake.
Yep, and now the Nexus turrets are gone. They're just ulting in. They try to make the play happen. Hippogriff basically parries everything. 11L flashes in. He's able to get his ult down finally with Zanyas. Dude taking a lot of damage. The Elder damage is doing absolutely work. Everyone is dead. Dude still lives. Everyone went on, but he just still lives anyways. Elder. Yep. Pretty explosive. Eventually, we saw a really bad team fight in the red side when they gave the Ziggs the quadra kill. But the scaling on the Ryze plus the Fiora split push and just the general picks that they were able to make happen on the things like Morgana, the team fights that they played around their strengths really well. With the CC, the Ryze just kind of hitting, they're able to neutralize some of the strengths of this Senna Morgana comp.
Yeah, we actually
very good damage graph though.
A lot of damage from Ziggs coming out there, which really tells me that if they put a little more focus onto the Ryze with the Zac and they keep him down a little more easily, and if they get Ziggs a little more ahead, I think they could have had themselves in that game entirely. But I think Dbrand just spent a little too much time trying to save Bowie from that matchup top lane.
He did go mid lane a few times. I believe the first time we saw him force the phase rush out and the Ryze was a little bit low. The second time forcing actually a kill, I think, and then the third time was the flash. So he definitely spent time, but maybe not in a type of situation where the Ziggs was able to set him up, or in a position where they were able to really secure the kill, which maybe what they needed to do on this Ryze to keep him down.
Yeah, and I mean, they did get the mid lane turret fairly early. Maybe that's why they didn't continue the focus on the mid lane. But in that case, really, they should just put their Ziggs in a side lane and have Zac hover around the Ziggs and just continue to force turrets that way.
Yeah. In the meantime, in kind of classic TSS3 fashion, we've seen them do this in the past, like, really 4 or 5 games. That's literally not possible because there's only been 4, but we've seen them do it in the last 4 games. That they kind of 4 and 5 man bot a lot. They take that global presence from Ryze. They ult him down, they TP him down, they have the Sejuani position around the Tri or the river, and they either dive or they go on the bot lane in some way to try and put their lanes ahead, even if they're sacrificing a
Yeah,
lot.
and we also saw last week from the Shen from Hippogriff as well joining in those 5-man bot lane ganks. So I'm curious to
Yeah,
see
for sure.
if Team Sauce will go ahead and they did ban the Shen out. I'm curious if they will also go ahead and ban the Rise out, because it may just be that in upcoming weeks teams are just going to need to go ahead and ban this combo from TSS3, because they're
Sure.
just showing that they can really utilize the global map pressure of these ultimates, and they're just able to
Absolutely.
crush the bot lane through it.
And they look comfortable on these
Yeah.
compositions as well. It seems like this is what they practice. This is what they want to be doing. So maybe we need to see teams start forcing them out of that type of comfort zone, these type of comps where they can play the mid game and early game as they want it.
I think we're going to take a very brief break and try and fix a few little issues here before Game 2 starts. So we will be right back.
All right, see you guys soon. All right, welcome back to Tilted in Season 3 versus Team Sauce. Game 2. Game 1, we saw some pretty crazy stuff happening. A Ziggs quadra kill. However, that wasn't quite enough to carry the game. Going around the Baron fight, we saw a lot of explosive fights happening that eventually Hippogriff and the Rise were able to kind of turn it around and really pull ahead.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I think that's a bad game from Team Sauce there. They definitely had they made some of the plays they wanted to make in the early game. They got a Herald in response. They got the first tower mid, and we got a lot of gold onto Sandy Snake between plates and solo time mid, and we did see a couple kill as a result from that. They just weren't able to continue that into the mid and to late game, and TSS3's overall team play and macro play just beat them out.
For sure. I think a lot of big individual plays happening between the 2 solo kills that the Fiora was able to secure on the set in the top lane that really snowballed her really hard. She then took that split push advantage top bottom lane and teleported into big fights. Coupled that with a Ryze 1v2 on the set plus the Zac. And we see a lot of big individual plays that lead to really large team advantages.
And we're actually going to go ahead and get started into draft here. Already seeing another Urgot ban, of course, onto Bovi, and another Ezreal ban.
On Luciv, yeah. Luciv's looking really good on that Lucian, though. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say it's not worth it, but he looked good on that Lucian. Made a big play on the Ziggs that led to a mid tower take with the Zac dying as well. So clearly, he's still comfortable on many other champions.
I believe has about 4 champions that he plays between Ezreal, Lucian, Caitlyn, and Ashe, and he's kind of showing that you can't really ban him out on anything because he's going to play very confidently on these champions. It may be that you want to put the bans onto the Enchanter supports from Dude Man Dingo, and that'll help take away his confidence a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. That's really doing a lot of work late game for sure. The first 4 bans totally the same as last game. Zac ban now coming out of TSS3 now that they're blue side. The Caitlyn is still up, crucially. They wanted to get rid of that Fiora, so they didn't want any of that. So the Caitlyn is still up, and TSS3 is just going to pick it.
Yeah, we're actually seeing a Zac ban coming out from Rook here. I think that's a wise play. Zac definitely had some solid ganks in the early game, especially there was one onto Abarn in the mid lane, another one onto the repeat onto Hippogriff in the top lane. They're giving a little respect to D-Brand Zac.
I agree. I kind of disagree with Team Sauce's ban strategy here. First, going for the Luciv Ezreal, as mentioned, he's comfortable on so many AD carries. Maybe you target out somewhere else. And then the J4 out of Rook Stout. He plays a lot of different engaged tanks. If you want to focus him, maybe you focus all your bans, or you focus none of them. I definitely would have gone with Caitlyn instead of that J4 or the Ezreal with the Fiora, who did a lot of work.
Right, and I think that I'd have to agree with you about the J4 ban. I don't know that that's necessarily something that Rook Stout is going to hard carry with. I mean, he's going to be able to play these engaged tanks, and there's the Sejuani again. He's going to be able to play.
He's just going to go back to
He's going to be able to play them fairly effectively and fairly consistently across the board. As for the Fiora ban, I think Bovi just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. I think
I agree. He kind of had a hard time.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Shen pickup here from Abarn's team for Hippogriff.
I think that'd be an excellent pick. Yeah, Hippogriff putting Hippogriff on that Shen still quite strong. However, they're going with the Kate Morg. Oh no!
As well, they have gone ahead and given the Soraka. Actually, they've taken the Soraka, I should say.
Picked it away from him. Yeah. Team Sauce was not anticipating that. This is going to be tough for Devious and Lemon. This is the notoriously the strongest lane that you can possibly pick.
Yeah.
That's going to be super scary.
The Soraka Misfortune. I think Misfortune should be okay to. I mean, between her movement speed, not get caught in too much.
And
but
double up. Yeah.
We'll have to see if Lemon can stay out of the Morgana bindings with his Soraka.
For sure.
Also seeing an immediate pickup for D-Brand.
Yeah, I think Team Sauce really kind of telegraphing what they want to do with this, banning out their Ryze now. They're definitely going for a little bit of a wombo with the movement plus the MF ult. Still really scary though with this when a Sejuani and a Morgana are on the field. It can be tough to set this kind of stuff up with, and you just kind of put something like Caitlyn ult or even like a Caitlyn trap on top of any of that, and it can be really tough to play the game.
Got a lot of pick potential coming out of TSS3 here. They're gonna actually. Team Sauce is going to go ahead and give Abarn the respect ban from the Ryze, possibly that Sandy Snake wants something that he can possibly pressure. They actually go ahead and ban both of the global champs here, which I think is the right decision in the second half of their draft.
I agree. That's pretty heads up. TSS3 really kind of prioritizing that ability to all be going committed to the same play, even if it's sometimes not the best play or the right play. Being all committed on the same play sometimes will lead to a team fight victory because you're all on the same page. And Ryze and Chen really kind of allow you to do that. Mordekaiser coming out for Bovi most likely. Yep, there it is. I have to imagine it's going top, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's Bovi's kind of fourth pick after we've already gotten the Urgot set and Orb bands. Bovi's been playing a fair amount of Mordekaiser as of late. Absolutely. And I think they had to have known that, banning the Orn set. They're trying to put him onto the Mordekaiser pick and then possibly putting Hippogriff onto the Darius pick in response. I think that is, again, a little bit of a skill matchup. I think Darius has a huge advantage in the early lead, just based on my own experience with the matchup. But going into the mid to late game, Mordekaiser definitely has some usefulness, not only in his ability to 1v1 Darius better, but also in his ability to, pick a priority target out of a team fight with his ultimate.
The Azir pick coming out for Abarn on TSS3, that's another really comfortable pick for them. We saw Abarn going with a really huge flash of Azir set
the Corki
in the previous game. Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Sandy Snake Corki coming back out. Feels like we're looking at Worlds right now, but looking at Azir Corki. It's just the same meta all over again. Crucially, no Ori ban coming out, so the Ori was up, but they wanted to go for it. However, they went to the Azir. One thing I want to point out is so much range for Tilted in Season 3 between the Azir and the Caitlyn. Like they could be shooting them from base. These two champions, while Sejuani and Morgana are in the thick of it with Darius.
And even beyond that, they have so much range to follow up on ranged pick potential. You could have a Sejuani ult that Sejuani doesn't even need to follow up on, that Caitlyn, that Morgana could follow up with a Q, Caitlyn could follow up with a trap, and they could just get the damage from a safe distance away from this Mordekaiser and a Mumu and kill someone immediately from a safe distance.
I absolutely agree. Darius definitely can maybe walk in on a big TP flank, or if he gets strong enough with the big split push like he did last game.
This was looking like a very comfortable composition for Darius to play into right up until that Corki pick. With the Corki Misfortune pick, it's going to be a lot harder for Darius to be getting into these team fights without just getting destroyed.
Yeah, for sure. The general kite ability of Darius really kind of can come into effect. Especially if you have something like walking through a package with that huge slow, or the Amumu CC, or maybe he gets Mordekaiser ulted, or just Misfortune just generally layering her ear with her ult and having people in front of her to be really tough.
I think we're definitely, I mean, as we said last game, but even more this game, I think it's going to be a game that is won through mid lane. Because it's going to be a matter of whether Corki is strong enough to be melting through this Sejuani and this Darius, or if Azir is strong enough to be going in with those stream of shuffle plays and tearing through their team.
For sure. A lot of magic damage coming out for Team Sauce between the Mordekaiser and the Corki. I really do want to see the Sejuani and the Darius maybe itemizing some early magic resist.
Sure. And I'm curious to see what Griff goes ahead and itemizes as well between a Black Cleaver and a Triforce start, because Darius can go either way. Triforce would be a little more greedy to pressure the Mordekaiser in the lane. However, he could just respect his Caitlyn's damage and help him with a Black Cleaver to cut through this Mordekaiser and a Mumu.
For sure. I think another thing to mention is the jungle mid compositions that we're looking at here. Rick's out Sejuani with the Azir. They played this before. A lot of initiation with the Azir kind of going in with this ult early, or the Sejuani just kind of coming from the side and layering her CC with the Azir CC. But at the same time, this Amumu Corki also offering much of the same. With Corki with the package, really dive in over walls and get into the thick of it and really put all of his burst down on the front end and land everything. Kind of put that with the Amumu, who will possibly be coming in from the sides, placing his bandage toss plus his ults. That can also be a very volatile combination.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing Team Sauce in both these games kind of favor the heavy team fight comps with the Wombo combos between their AoE junglers and their AoE mid laners. And
yeah, I'm wondering how Mordekaiser kind of fits into their plan with how they want to play the mid late though. I imagine he wants to TP in and maybe like flank in from the side and ult someone.
I don't think it does really fit in with their plan that well. It's just that that was Bovi's last pick. They put 3 bans onto him, and he only had the one strong pick for himself left.
Yeah, and maybe that was Tilted Season 3's plans. They see, hey, they haven't picked their top laner yet in the second phase. We have 2 more picks left, and we've already banned out one of his champs. This can put Bovi in a really rough position. and force him onto a pick that we want
Yeah,
him
I
to
think
be
they
on.
definitely wanted to force him onto the Mordekaiser and give Hippogriff the potential counter lane with the Darius. We'll have to see how it gets played.
Absolutely. As we're getting ready to hop into the Rifts, do you want to go ahead and make a pick?
I'm honestly going to have to say TSS3 here again. The only way I see that Team Sauce really brings themselves into this game is that they are... sorry, I'm trying to get the game going here. They are playing through the Corki and getting the Corki fed, because Corki can be kind of near to a hyper carry should he get the strength.
Yep. Once he gets that like big crit spike that is converted with this passive, can be really, really scary. I would tend to agree as well. I think what Team Sauce needs to happen is Corki, like you said, needs to become such a big threat that he is what TSS3 is looking at during an entire team fight, and it lets Misfortune and Mordekaiser kind of do some work behind it. But Sandy Snake really needs to pop off in order to buy his team the space to kind of carry as well.
Right.
TSS3, meanwhile, I think they have a really nice rounded composition with how they want to play the game, and also have a lot of points of strength during the game as well. Caitlyn Morgana is so strong during that early lane, especially against an immobile lane like Misfortune Soraka. Caitlyn Morgana, you land one binding, you put a trap on top of that, and let Caitlyn's headshots take care of the rest.
Yeah.
That coupled with the fact that Azir's going to be able to make some river pressure happen with the Sejuani, and Darius, Hippogriff looking really good in the last game. But Bovie, great player, really comfortable on Mordekaiser as well. If he's able to stack up some items, stack up some damage, can definitely come around the side and make some plays happen with Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to have to be careful this game. He cannot let Darius get another easy lead like he let Fiora get last game. If Darius gets this lead, then it's going to be really rough for him in the side lane. I mean, it was rough on Fiora, but I think Darius is going to be way scarier into the comp in terms of not only be able to melt one target, but being able to melt all the targets.
Absolutely. Darius walking in. You can never underestimate how much Darius heals too. You have to be really aware of his positioning. You have to be very aware of like, am I in a position to either be too close or too far? But if you're kind of in that sweet spot where the axe is going to hit you, Darius can all of a sudden change the complete direction of a team fight is going to be moving.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do that for you, Box.
That's okay. We're looking at the early clears right now. Hippogriff taking a lot of damage from AIostInTheSauce, though. He's popped his Ghost. AIostInTheSauce going in. He has full Darius stacks on him. His sources just flashed away. He's going to die to the Darius passive. He's healing up. Oh my goodness. Darius flashing in and flashed out. First blood. Solo kill. Hippogriff on Team Sauce again. Mordekaiser and Hippogriff both flash ghosting for it.
Hippogriff has taken the Ghost, and Bovie has not respected that. He's gone ahead and let Darius get his 5 stacks off at level 1, and Darius has been able to turn that into the kill.
Yeah, and now he has a huge wave building. Mordekaiser now super far behind. Is forced to TP back. Darius might just be able to reset after this wave too. Rick's now taking his blue buff. Dbrand kind of walking forward, kind of checking out what's out. He's pinged that he wants to go in mid lane. Sees that Abarn's pushed up a tiny bit. Sandy Snake on this Corki. Not the strongest thing early, but still quite dangerous. Banish shots coming in between the minions doesn't make it. This revealed his presence now. Demon Dingo's taking quite a bit of damage down here. Lemonillo, however, super low. Looks like there might have been a binding early. Debbie's forced to heal.
Yeah, Rook is just kind of...
Crazy first 3 minutes of the game so far.
Rook is just kind of waiting out right here. I think he's thinking that Dbrand is going to go ahead and try and gank Hippogriff top lane, and they're trying to bait this out, but Dbrand's just taking it, although he is making his way over now.
Oh, he might catch him off your try here. Yeah. Oh, nice position by Rook's out. Dbrand has no idea. He's going to take so much damage here. He might be forced to flash as well. Gets the pass, 20 passes down. Flashes too late.
Rook actually just dies.
As a result, he needed to flash early before he had the full stacks on him.
Solos.
Oh, the solo kill. Dbrand absolutely needed to flash before Sejuani was able to stack up on him. That was a huge display by Dbrand.
Not what you want to be seeing.
Oh, lands a trap. He's going to trap underneath. He's going to get so much damage down. Force the barrier, but the Q kills him anyways. Luciv, nice job binding by the dude Mandigo. Luciv taking so much damage. Heals out. Oh, and Debbie's is forced to flash as well. Nice job, Debbie's trying to salvage that play. Forces with the heal and the flash out of the Caitlyn. However, Rick's out coming back in on the Mordekaiser. AIostInTheSauce is taking some damage. Rick's out just going to have to walk out, though. No flash on the Mordekaiser.
a little ambitious with that play there. I don't know if he knew whether or not
Maybe too much.
if he knew whether or not he had his E up there, but he possibly could have got himself killed. But this is
Yeah, very,
not
very
what
possible.
Team Sauce wants to be happening right now. They need to be making it to these later game team
Yeah.
fights with their wombo combos and their Soraka to be healing, but they've just kind of
Yeah, that's just
they're
3
just kinda
kills.
giving away early game.
Yep. Sandy Snake's kind of still doing all right, but he is down a little bit in CS. And when the rest of the lanes are going the way they are, that's you need to be in a spot where maybe you can get a gank out. That's exactly what D-Brand's doing. He's coming around from the side. Gets the edge toss on the Abarn. Abarn might just hit the flash out. No, he just E's out, just walks away. Still has the mana to do that. Not even a summoner forced out. Maybe looking a little bit desperate for Team Sauce already. It's 5 minutes into the game, and there's almost like a 1.8k gold difference between them. We're seeing CS leads. However, the bot lane's still looking good for Devious in CS. Despite Lemon dying, Caitlyn, I guess, was forced to reset after that kill. Didn't have his pot left and had to heal. Went back and bought a pickaxe, looking for that early dragon for red side.
A pause.
And a pause. Oh no!
Power peasant.
Abarn does say R though, so I'm not sure what's going on with this. Meanwhile, what we're looking at here is the red side Team Sauce. Yeah, started the drag. It's looking really good. It's pretty low. However, TSS3 is responding now. They see it. Dubendigo's placed a ward, and they're in a position to maybe look for a steal here. Works that, of course, almost always goes for that steal. Is really confident in his ability to do it. Caitlyn is also in the area.
There's a pink right under the dragon there, so Rookstout would be going in blind here.
Yep. I don't think he might have placed the pink ward kind of where we can't see it, but no, it's completely dark. He's going to go over a wall though. No, not quite. They're just going to be able to secure the dragon. Nice early infernal by Team Sauce.
That is
Dubendigo just kind of being annoying on the side.
That is the kind of play that they needed here in order to get a little something back for themselves in this game.
Yeah, very nice early dragon. Meanwhile, this Quirky also doing some pretty good stuff on this Abarn Azir. That gank came in and just forced him to burn a little bit of mana. Not quite enough, but still looking pretty solid. This is a very even lane. Quirky actually going for that tier start.
Hippogriff.
MF now with the Caulfield.
Yeah. In the top lane here again.
Oh yeah, he's starting to stack up that difference. That's his Bowie's DP, of course, still down. This is a big wave. He absolutely cannot stay for this. That's going to be another big swing. That's going to be a plate plus...
Ooh, he's
he's going to try and stay for it. He's going to heal up a little. That's way too greedy. Now he cancels his back, too, so now he's going to definitely lose this, possibly even part of the next wave as well. That was way too greedy by AIostInTheSauce. There's no way he could have stayed for that. I guess he heard that his jungle was kind of coming up to help him, but that was
again, but
not what he needed. Yeah, he's going to stay again. He's going to try and go for Hippogriff here.
Hippogriff going for another play. Returns
nice
getting greedy.
Hippogriff staying and gets caught. He's going to go for AIostInTheSauce though, and it doesn't matter. He just ults him.
We've actually got a solo kill from Sandy Snake on Rookstout. This
solo kill Sandy Snake on Rookstout.
Yeah, has suddenly just turned around a little bit with 2 kills back.
Hippogriff getting way too greedy and staying for that extra play. He probably could have just bead and come back, got another advantage with the gold difference he had, and forced that play eventually later. He didn't need to stay for that right now. It's only 7 minutes into the game. D-Brand comes up, lands a bandage, and Hippogriff still decided to stay. And I think what happened in the mid lane was Rookstout came in pretty low, and Sandy Snake just kind of dropped his Q, dropped his ult.
I think there was very much a lack of respect for the Quirky damage coming out of Sedge there. He probably just thought he'd come in and farm a little bit in the mid lane, and Sandy Snake turns it into a kill. He doesn't even need to burn flash for it either.
Without a doubt. Yeah, that's a big mistake by Rookstout. But and now overall the lane looking really good for Sandy Snake. He's gonna be able to go back and have a lot of money with that kill plus the CS lead. He's taking a lot of damage though. He's trying to stay in range of the CS. This lane obviously notoriously difficult to play against.
Absolutely a kill they needed in the mid lane for Sandy Snake. If they can continue to get kills for him, they might be able to salvage this game.
Nice steal though coming out from Rookstout and Abarn. That's going to be pretty annoying for the Quirky. He definitely wants to have that blue to be able to constantly wave clear with his Q and his ult and his E.
Bot lane has sniffed out the gank coming in from Sedge and heading back down. Although D-Brand,
yeah, but they've also just conceded this, like basically the jungle. Oh no, they're just gonna walk out. That's pretty annoying though. D-Brand doesn't know that he doesn't know that his graph is still there, so he's still gonna decide to reset anyways, despite being full health. I don't know if I agree with that.
I do not agree with this Bovie first item haunting, guys. I think that's a very Very
Oh my
greedy
goodness.
play in a lane you're so far behind in right now.
Without a doubt, yeah. Maybe he needs boots or something. That extra move speed can make a big difference against this Darius. Abarn now poking with this blue, this stolen blue, and Sejuani's blue is still up, so Abarn's either gonna be able to get a refresher or just it's gonna go into the Sedge. Sedge is gonna be pretty in a good spot despite dying. Sandy Snake now walking up. He has the package, I believe.
He's
Looking
gonna
for
be
this
seen out on the
Darius.
board.
However, he does get spotted by that. Yeah, nice warding again by Hippogriff. Has that pink in the river and that his trinket ward in the try. Big CS lead developing in the bot lane though. Caitlyn's a fair amount
Both
up.
jungler is actually roaming towards the bot side right now. We're gonna see a fight.
Yeah, they see this Amumu on the scuttle. Azir's in now. He might try going for it. No, but Rick's still in the bot lane. Now Abarn's in kind of a weird spot. He's kind of off by himself against this Corki, but he's doing a lot of damage with the sword against Abarn. Corki missing his big one. Oh, he's going to go for it. The Azir set going in on the Amumu. Amumu doesn't. Oh, he has flash, but he's forced the ult flash away. Now the MF ult coming down over top. Nice move by
MF
Abarn.
comes up a little short, and on top of that, good play from Abarn, and we've actually seen another solo kill during that time from the top lane. Hippogriff got another kill on Bolini and is just further increasing his lead.
Yeah, Bolini really. Maybe it's the itemization difference that you're saying. Maybe he's just not playing respectfully enough against this Darius, who has flash, who has Ghost. A lot of kill pressure there in this lane.
Kill pressure, absolutely. Darius gains so much kill pressure by taking Ghost, and Bovie is just not respecting that. Not only with his build path, but also his gameplay. He just cannot be trading with Darius level 1 like he was.
Yeah, that's such a huge difference, because now also what happened top when even when they killed the Darius, Bovie still missed most of the CS from that. So we're seeing a very large CS difference in the top lane. Sandy Snake making a nice player on the side, but Dbrand not expecting that Abarn flash Azir ult to be back into the team. He also flashed back into the bush. What he could have done was potentially walked along river and flash back toward his tower, but you know it's all difficult to say, and he made the play that he could. Dumintigo flashing in with this ult doesn't land it on anyone. Devious just walks away with that move speed, misses the binding as well. Rick's still in though. He's committed. He's gonna go for it. Lands his Q. It lands all the damage, and another kill for Lucius.
It was an initial flash from Doomandingo, followed by another flash from Misfortune, but it's just not enough to get her out with the Sedge coming in.
Right, Misfortune deciding to flash into the alcove rather than backwards. That's a difficult decision to make, especially when Morgana can easily follow up that binding.
Looks like they're going to try and turn this one into a drag, although they get a pick on Doomandingo here.
Oh, Doomandingo walking too far without any vision. Gets queued by the Amumu. Now they just have to get up on this drag.
That is...
Nice job by Team Sauce to be able to walk in and take this drag now.
Very
Abarn's over the wall.
From Doomandingo there.
Yeah, very poor positioning, especially without any vision. I needed to be able to walk up with someone else. Dbrand just capitalizes with Corki, and now this is a free drag. AIostInTheSauce actually walks into lane, doesn't TP, so he still has that TP to go back top if he wants against this Darius. However, Darius already has 3 plates down.
TP.
That is scary. Rift Herald is still up. Rickstat was obviously in the area when they started that drag, so they weren't able to counter with Rift Herald.
He's sitting on a ward there. That is the
very healthy ward.
Plays that they're gonna be looking for.
Oh, nice job going in. Amumu ults Azir ult away. However, Sandy Snake doesn't have any mana, so he can't quite put all his bursts down. Morgana not coming in with Doomandingo. Abarn up without any timers, still walks away.
I think that despite the we usually have Sedge coming in bot lane for a gank.
Devious maybe out of position with that flash now. They're just going to go on Lemonella. Lemonella does have barrier and flash. Use both at the same time. Now he doesn't have enough. He's going to die. Rick's not taking a lot of damage from this Misfortune, but Caitlyn is still there. Misfortune might just die. Full stacks, and he channels his ult during the Sejuani passive, and he dies for it.
From, the Corki there coming in.
Yeah, Sandy Snake out by himself and is forced to flash back out.
He tries to TP in to follow up on that, but at that point his bot lane is already dead and he cannot do anything.
Yeah, this Caitlyn is looking huge. This is what kind of we were worried about. If Cape Org are able to get the kind of lane that they want, they can just take over the game. Caitlyn with a full Infinity Edge versus just the Call Fields and the Crit Cloak from the MF.
I think Hippogriff's actually going to solo start the Rift Herald.
Yeah.
He's not been seen by any wards. I don't think that...
that's tough. He has to know that the Amumu is up here. He saw that Sedge was able to gank bot lane uncontested with even with the Corki TPing down, so he has to know that Amumu is on top side.
The thing is, even if Amumu does find him here, I don't think Amumu wants this.
That's true, especially with the Sedge here now. The support. He's going to go in. Sedge does have ult, but he misses his E. Now with Mordekaiser coming down, I think they can still fight this. Sedge is level up, and so is the Darius. They should just turned and fought it. However, maybe they weren't comfortable without the cooldowns. Hippogriff blows his ghost. Not looking for anything. Corki now in the area. Abarn walking up as well. AIostInTheSauce.
Corki's got the package. I think that may have been why they back off there.
Package. That is true. That can be really scary, especially when Corki's able to just kind of close it from across the map. And Azir's a few seconds behind. That could be all the difference.
Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it ran out.
Yeah, he does. He does.
It's a little hard to tell with that skin.
It's really tough with the skin. Yeah, the skin is very wonky to look at with it.
Despite these, despite the early kills and even the overall kills that TSS3 has gotten themselves an advantage on, Sauce is actually responding very well with objectives. They've not only gotten both dragons, but they've managed to snag the Rift Herald here as well.
Yeah, great early objective control, like you said. One of those obviously coming out as a result of a good pick as well. So if they can keep these types of plays going, and eventually get Soul, a Ocean Soul would be really nice here, especially against something like the Azir, who's always maybe looking for you to poke on the side.
Did not actually manage to trade the
oh no! Sandy Snake without the blue buff now. That's tragic.
Blue buffs that he's missed at this point.
Yeah, Sandy Snake. Especially when you really want your Corki to get strong, that can be really annoying. Can't stay as much, can't get as much gold in one go as you want. Can't make a side lane play if you're out of mana, you know. And with that package, although it's definitely run out at this point, but I think Amumu needs to come. Rixat's been spending a lot of time around the spot lane. I think Amumu needs to. Oh, he's here. Gets Morgana bonding. Takes a lot of damage, but he definitely needed to try and make something happen there. Otherwise, this game is going to spiral.
Yeah, although I don't know, I kind of agree with the plays they were making mid lane, despite not really getting anything out of Abarn, or I should rather say getting any gold or kills out of that. They are still getting cooldowns out of Abarn. They got his flash early on, they got his ult, and I think they need to be allowing Corki to get through his tier and his Triforce so that he can start roaming with the package and making these plays. They've got a dive
for sure.
In.
T-Brand, yeah, that's 4-man. They're going all the way in. Sejuani just goes in, and the Azir coming back out with Unlimited goes in. He has the Morgana binding on him. They're all just dead. That's a huge mistake.
Ult came out actually after the Misfortune had already died.
Has already died, yeah. Now that bot lane 06 and 0 looking really rough for them in this lane. One mistake I wanted to call out was that D-Brand actually was in the Tribush with hidden nice binding coming out. A lot of damage coming out on AIostInTheSauce. He's taking so much damage. These headshot crits coming out, dealing so much damage, and the ult comes out, and Bovie is just dead. Big mistake coming out of the Bovie. Not respecting Morgana bind from the side, despite having the vision on the side.
That, but
Morgana
that's a
nice
good
binding
play there from Lucif. He not only puts a trap underneath the Morgana bind, he goes ahead and puts a trap behind.
Oh, places it behind the tower
as well. And Bovie had nowhere to go except walk back into another trap there.
Yeah, it takes those double headshots, and eventually that kill that comes out and just kills him. Now 6 and 0, Lucif really strong.
Team Sauce is,
maybe Team Sauce not respecting
that. They're going to be able to turn this into actually their first dragon as well, which is really important for TSS3 here. That's kind of their one remaining win condition is getting that soul, but they're going to delay it by a lot there.
Yeah, Sunny's like doing a lot of damage from the side. Dumandugo kind of out of mana, but however, he's Morgana, he's support, he still has some mana to throw out bindings and stuff. Now taking a lot of damage. Oh my god, Sunny's getting so low from this Caitlyn.
Yeah, and that's what you were talking about in Champ Select, just the range. They're outranging the Corki auto attacks with their own auto attacks. Corki can respond a little bit with his ult damage, but it's just not the same as the Caitlyn auto attack range, Q range, and the Azir range.
And we're not seeing enough of a power spike coming out from mid lane yet. This Caitlyn already on 2 items. Corki, the mid lane, not even completing 1. Really, really scary. They have to find some way of shutting this Caitlyn down. Now the nice Herald's coming out a little. Yep, they're gonna get it. The however, Hippogriff on the side with the Darius flank. Lemonel forced the flash out. He still gets apprehended, and he's just gonna die either with this Hippo damage. But the Ghost still is chasing this D-Brand Amumu, going in full stacks now. Sejuani ult coming out, and D-Brand's probably just dead here. Oh, he's able to flash out. AIostInTheSauce not coming in. Ults him. Gets ult locked. However, Hippogriff just going to kill Bovie out of this. Now diving the tower. Nice Morgana binding onto Devious. Channels his ult. Hippogriff is just still going in. He is so huge, just walking in.
Massive, and on top of that, if anyone doesn't remember, Ghost was recently changed that it resets on kills now. So that's why the Ghost was lasting so long there. He managed to grab a takedown and then continue to chase the rest of the team. He's not only putting pressure on, they already got the 1 kill, he's put pressure on the Amumu, and zoning another character out while the rest of the team 3v4s.
Yeah, like literally just diving into the entire team and just killing everyone. It looks like Abarn made some sort of fail play. Said something about taking out the stream.
Yeah,
I must have missed it. Can't shame him for it. That feels
It's a
bad.
good response.
However, Dubendigo a little caught out. Yeah, nice package, I believe, that by the Sandy Snake, kind of catching Dubendigo, who's too far inside the jungle with Lemonilla.
Sandy Snake is exactly where they need him to be in terms of carrying this game. He's got 2 kills. He's got he's keeping up in farm with TSS3 here, despite their huge lead. But the rest of the team is just not doing what they need to do in this game. They need to.
I mean, the problem is like this Darius. Oh, nice catch onto Abarn. Abarn ulting them away. Sandy Snake now over the wall again. He's not gonna be able to get back in range.
It was a good catch in order to get the Abarn ult out. Unfortunately, Dbrand did not have his own ult there. Otherwise, I think they would have been able to turn that into a kill.
Yeah, very possible. Corki had already used his W to try and get into range, so the Azir ult sending him so far back maybe would have made it still pretty hard, but still a nice catch. What I wanted to say was like the Darius and the Caitlyn are so strong. Like, and the Azir doesn't matter if he's not strong, like as strong right now. He's going to keep scaling. That's the difficulty of all this. So Corki really needs to get to a spot where he can be basically the solo carry at this point. The other lanes look at 1 and 4, really rough. Works out position very aggressively around the side.
What they do have going for them here is the Soraka. I mean, Sandy Snake did go ahead and take some poke there, but Soraka was able to just heal him back up. So maybe if they can turtle and maybe if they can defend against these sieges, although we got an engage.
Nice ult on the Sejuani, onto the Amumu. Amumu is just dead. Now Hippogriff on the side, looking for the upper hand, doesn't quite catch it. Gets the Black Shield though, and is just going to be able to walk away. Wow, that's really scary when the Darius is able to walk around the side. It Brooks out ults and Amumu under tower. Nice catch onto the Corki, takes a lot of damage. Nice Darius E. They're just going to go in on it. Hippogriff taking so much damage though. Nice Mordekaiser. They can't follow up on the actual pull. However, Lucius still gets the Corki kill. I don't know I didn't quite catch what happened with that. I believe he was able to lay that trap and get all those headshots down. Lucius doing so much damage with these crits. Probably just able to 2-shot him on the side there. AIostInTheSauce. Nice ult on the Darius is able to kill him though. They're able to trade, but the siege from the Caitlyn is so scary. Buffalo walking into a trap.
So much damage.
Caitlyn missing his E. That's so much damage though. However, if Lucius was able to land that E, now just walking forward, just popping damage onto Dbrand. Dbrand not respecting that Stormraiser proc. It's slow and it takes like 4 extra autos from his Caitlyn, and Lucius just taking over the game.
Tries to come in to defend, tries to loop around the inhibitor here, but actually just gets absolutely destroyed by the Caitlyn Azir, and that's again what we were talking about with this range, that Amumu can't even walk up to be anywhere near the inhib without the rest of his team there.
Yeah. He's walking around the side, he's like, I got hold, I'm gonna try and make a big play. It just takes basically his entire health bar for it. And now TSS3 is able to reset before this dragon. Gonna have a huge item break, and it's gonna be really scary.
It was a good return kill onto. Yeah, it was a good return kill onto Darius. However, not really the person they wanted to put it on the Mordekaiser here. Mordekaiser is so weak; it might help him get in a little bit back into the game. But at this point, Mordekaiser just needs to be a frontline tank, and he's still dealing damage.
Yeah. I was about to point that out. Finishing that fully injuries. Not sure that's the
picking up another
to go in this game. Also. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, probably a Rylai's or something.
But even so, he needs Zanya's, he needs Thornmail, he needs to just be a frontline for his team.
Absolutely. I would have assumed he was going to go Zanya's next, which I guess is not off the table just yet, but that's an odd itemization for sure. The movie with his Frozen Heart, not the worst thing against the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn at this point doesn't really need that attack speed. She's just looking to get those big headshot plays with the layering her trap, layering her E, plus her general passive, and it's going to be enough damage to kill anyone on the enemy team. It doesn't matter.
I don't know about the Frozen Heart myself for a couple reasons. One being it just lacks the synergy with the jungle item, and that you've built no HP at this point. But on top of that,
that's what I was going to say, yeah.
Well, I thought we might have seen Lemon get picked here, but it looks like he'll probably be okay unless he gets caught.
He's just going to be able to walk out. Dubendigo walking up. He's looking for something here. Gets silenced. Lemon maybe staying a little bit long still. Azir going in. Just one W auto with those Azir soldiers. Really scary. Well. He's walking in, kind of like dissuading them. However, TSS3 setting pretty good vision. They have a good idea of where they have him funneled into. Lemon took a lot of damage. Has that Ardent now though? Maybe flank from Hippogriff going on to Amumu. Amumu's getting caught out a lot. The AIostInTheSauce coming in with the Mordekaiser has taken so much damage. Hasn't done anything. Isn't able to even get his ult out. However, they do kill Hippogriff. They just fight him and walk out.
For Team Sauce.
AIostInTheSauce taking so much damage. Is forced Yeah, huge coming out of TCL. However, this is 0 damage on this Frozen Heart of Mumu. Just basically WQs and goes in with the ult. Quirky Flash doesn't make it over. Yet Sandy Snake gets caught back out over the wall now. It's on the wrong side of this team fight. Going back for Elusive. Elusive catches him, and Elusive's just able to crit him down and kill him. Nice job by Abarn, catching 2 with that. The Quirky Flash not getting him over the wall. That feels so bad.
Yeah, that was massive coming out from Team Sauce there initially, that Soraka was able to keep them high enough HP that they would not be able to give Darius any of the resets. However, it was a good play from Abarn to come back in with that re-engage and push him back into their team, and able to pick a couple back up for that.
Yeah, huge catch up with the mid laner and the jungler with that. Nice flash. Sandy Snake looked like he might have been able to make it over the wall, but didn't quite with the flash.
Return with the Baron, which is going to be very, very difficult for Team Sauce to really do anything.
For them to clear, yeah. Yeah, with this Quirky MF, we're going to be doing most of the legwork on that one. It's going to be pretty tough. Caitlyn does have that QSS now, so even if she gets gone on by the Amumu, can QSS out, can QSS Mordekaiser ult, which I don't know if Mordekaiser really wants to ult her at this point anyways, but still, extra tool. That 1161 crit, yikes! That's a lot of damage.
Did we see? I kind of want to check the gold differential here.
Yeah.
Find the key
also
for that real quick, if you would.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yes. In the meantime, yeah, kind of just talking about the what the game was looking like right now. Dbrand not tanky. He's just not. It's tough to
and that's
say,
a
but like
bit,
he's just
yeah,
not
that's a little bit. The other point I was going to make about that Frozen Heart is, while it is good to reduce those attack speeds, he's just not going to be able to get anywhere near Abarn or Elusive to even get those attack speeds.
Yeah, with the massive even procs. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so true.
He should have gone for like an adaptive helm or maybe a Thornmail himself, but the Frozen Heart is just really not going to do that much for him.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and she just has no health and is taking so much damage from Zazir. In addition to that, is also kind of in a position where he has to be off by himself looking for something big on the side, but he can't. Oh my god, Lemon taking so much damage from Zazir over the wall. Kind of what we were talking about that range again. Now he just has to reset. He can't keep his teammates topped up when he's 1 HP.
Actually taking the tower at this point.
He's going to do his best to, just by himself. Bovalini not strong enough. He's still full damage, no armor, no real tanking ability with the Zanyas to be able to go in, ult someone, and maybe Zanya's out.
Quirky.
He's going to go for a trade
Quirky
against
has
Hippogriff though.
Right now, but they just do not care.
Yeah, they can't. Oh, nice ult onto the Amumu, who's able to flash out. We're just out flashing back in with it with the Black Shield, trying to get something to follow up on it. Dbrand's out though. He has to reset. That's 2 inhibitors, and there's an open inhibitor in the mid lane.
And they still have Baron.
They're
just shoving in for the win.
Caitlyn's still sieging. He's just by himself. Yeah, and they're going to be able to get like the supers on this mid lane as well. Going in, the solo on to Abarn. It does kill him. That's a big pick. Rixout also super low. Hippogriff on its own with AIostInTheSauce inside the ult. And AIostInTheSauce going to be able to kill him. No, Hippogriff heals with a Q. And he's just be able to walk out. No, walking back. That's a nice
desperation play from Team Sauce there. They pick Abarn out, use the Amumu ult to get him killed off quickly. Caitlyn is a little too afraid to come up and be doing her damage, and they managed to clear out the front line as well. However, they still can't leave the base, and TSS3 is
now they're looking for this drag
soul at this point. Although they're TPing in for it.
Yeah, and it's scary. Caitlyn, they know what's going on. Caitlyn didn't trap everything trapped in. He's gonna be able to walk in and just smite it. Nice job. That's a third dragon for Team Sauce.
Ooh.
Nice, and they're gonna be able to catch out. No, Duo solo kills Lemonilla. I'm not sure what happened on the side there. Lemonilla still with barrier up too.
Fantastic play there from Duke.
Yeah, fantastic play. Kills Lemonilla and flashes out with the ignite. Lemonilla still having barrier. Probably could have lived there if he had popped his barrier while staying inside that W and ignite on him, but dies for it, and they don't kill Dude Mendigo. Elusive, however, and Dude Mendigo, the bot lane both force you to burst further flash. So despite that nice play,
finally gets himself a blue buff this game. 28 minutes into the game.
That's not what you want to see out of your like hard carry mid laner, but still doing pretty well in terms of damage. Building toward that Infinity Edge now, or that Essence Reaver, to see what he decides to put that toward.
It was looking pretty hopeless, and it's still looking pretty darn difficult. But they get a little bit of a return play onto Team Sauce. If they can maybe survive for another 5 minutes or so, or 4 minutes until this drags up, maybe there's a chance, but it's going to be very difficult for them to survive through this.
Very difficult, yeah. Especially when the siege of TSS3 is just so potent with this because you're being able to just WQ in with the soldiers
Oh.
and to tons of damage. And it's Halen. Oh my god, the Halen headshot! Just now, D-Bend is forced to go in. Amumu ults too, but the Black Shield is on him. Abarn takes a lot of damage. Amumu taking a lot of damage as well. He's going to die for it. Now that the supers are coming in, Lemon taking so much damage from these headshot blocks for the Caitlyn. Nice QSS by the Caitlyn. How he still gets caught by the Mordekaiser, but Mordekaiser just dies for it.
Beautiful play from Lucifer.
Debbie is furiously auto-attacking on the side, but he's taking so much damage that Hypocrite just dies. Abarn goes in with the ult. However, that might have been a mistake. No, they still are able to get it out. It's just going to be over. City State bursts into the world. Lucifer on his own. The minions are just doing it on their own, and
very
elusive
looking game from
so
TSS3
strong
there. I gotta say, I mean, looking at the end there, they were starting to get a little bit of what they wanted on the side of Team Sauce, in that they're getting these wombo combos. They're starting to really chunk Abarn out of these fights with the Amumu picks, but they're just far too far behind at this point.
Yeah, definitely Abarn was maybe a little bit out of position in that in the second to last team fight inside the base. Amumu was able to just layer all of the CC and you're able to burst them down, as you're not tanky enough to live through that. But that play coming after the blue side had already taken all 3 inhibitors, a little too late.
Little too late.
And there's the Caitlyn damage, yeah. Very scary. Very good trap placement coming out of Elusive as well. Able to use his passive to effectively chunk Mordekaiser to half before that team fight even started. Mordekaiser came in, ulted the Caitlyn QSS'd, but Mordekaiser still landed his E, but it wasn't enough to kill the Caitlyn.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, overall a really solid 2 games coming out of TSS3, putting Team Sauce in a position where they couldn't come back early, making some big individual plays out of mid and top. And eventually Caitlyn really ramping up to be this just absolute menace.
A very big showing from TSS3 there to put such a decisive victory in both games, but on top of that, they are now the first team with a 2-0 record, which not only 2-0 record, but a very strong win against one of the 1-0 teams. I think they're starting to show themselves as one of the leaders of the pack here at this point. Still a little early to say, but
yeah, without a doubt. I think this 2-0 on a team that was originally 1-0. This was a team that had already won their first week series and had already put themselves to be in a position to kind of set themselves up in the future. But with a decisive 2-0, really convincing, like you said, and playing a team, looking as a team that looks very comfortable and looking very comfortable with their style and very, very like they have an identity. So TSS3 absolutely a force to be reckoned with.
It was a good game from both sides here, and yeah, you got any closing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No. Great job by both teams. Really excited to get kickoff week 2 with this Team Sauce versus TSS2 series, and can't wait to see you guys back for
absolutely.
the next series.
I believe our next match is going to be tomorrow. Actually, let me double check real quick here when our next match is going to be.
Yeah, it should be tomorrow, around the same time tomorrow.
Yeah,
so.
Let me double check real quick. Yeah, next match is going to be actually tomorrow at the exact same time. It's going to be tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, response to on Panda real quick. That as for interviews, I think that's something we're currently implementing. So, not this time, but possibly in the future.
We will get there.
So, alrighty, see you guys tomorrow.
All right, see you guys.